Fish tend to complain about the rain a lot, and I understand that, having lived on the west side of Oregon for a long time. I personally love the weather. However, now that I'm living on the east side of the state, it's mostly sunny most of the summer. And we have bright sunny days, which are beautiful, but make it for rather difficult conditions to do any kind of video or photography. But any day I get to set up my camera and take a shot is a great day. So I loaded up my 4x5 and back up into the Elkhorn Mountains and hiked the Hoffer Lake Trail up to Upper Hoffer Lake. Great photo opportunities. Towards the end of August, the streams in northeast Oregon and the flows of water tend to get very shallow. And I can only imagine this is a waterfall, or so it is said in the guidebooks. But at this time of year, it's just a trickle. And but you can see all the different paths that the water has cut in this granite. And I can only imagine when the water is really flowing in the springtime what this must look like. It's probably really pretty. I'll have to come back here, but for right now, this this tree with the shade on one side of the crack in the rock where the water's flowing caught my eye, and I figured it'd be a good warm-up shot and give it a chance, and gives me an opportunity to set up my camera. I don't know why I put my lens on first before I anchored the front standard. Just not thinking, and it made it a little bit more fiddly to get the front standard hooked up. Definitely not the proper procedure for the Intrepid 4x5, but it worked. Still fiddling with it. I set up the tripod pretty low to the ground to get the perspective on the composition that I wanted. The composition was pretty straightforward. I put the slot that the water's running through in the middle, and I had one side was light and one side was in shade, and it made for a pretty interesting photograph that's dark on one side and light on the other. I need to work on it to see if I can get some of the, I mean, you can't really tell in the photograph that the water's running through it, which was kind of what I wanted to have happen, but it's still an interesting composition nonetheless. So the Fresnel lens makes a tremendous difference. I set my initial focus for the foreground of the tree in the front and the dead branch in the water, and then here I'm applying some front tilt just to get the just a very little bit, just to get the focus of the far and the near. I don't know if I really needed it at f/45, but it couldn't hurt. I think I'm going to try the 210. The only thing is I'm in a little bit of a marsh. Now we can focus. Wow. Holy smokes. All right, I'm going to meter now. And these are the steps I got to go to clear the meter. So I got to hit the little wrench, then I got to hit the down button, then I hit it memory clear, and then I got to hit all, and then I got to hit OK, and now my memory's clear. Yeah, they should, yeah. $600 for this thing. I'm looking forward to the Ravini Labs little doohickey. That might solve the problem, because this is ridiculous. All right, we want also the touch screen's really questionable. F45, 100 ISO. I think my brightest area is going to be that slab of rock. And that's giving me a 20th of a second. And then my darkest area is going to be the shadows in that tree right there. Right there. That's giving me a third of a second, 1.3 seconds, not a third of a second. Okay, then we hit average. Average those, and I get a fifth of a second. And my tonal range is about 2 stops, hard to see in the bright sunlight. 2 stops under, 2 stops over. That'll work for black and white. So what do we say, a fifth of a second? Now let's see how that translates to the front of the lens. So we got F45. So again, we have a quarter and an eighth. I'm going to do 2 shots, one at a quarter and one at an eighth. And I find it helps to have an extra sheet of film in case one gets damaged in processing, that kind of a thing. Block the sunlight from hitting the lens. There's that exposure. And now we'll do an eighth of a second. Block the sun from hitting the front of the lens. And that's 08, 29, 21, 3, and 4. And that was 1/4 of a second at F45 with my 210, and 1/8 of a second at F45, 210. This is upper Hoffer lake. And tree centered. There's another composition here I want to try. This is going to be a quick one because it's just a little bit to the left. I couldn't decide, and they're both good, so. And what I'm seeing, so I centered that tree, the dead tree on that pillar, and I got that other little stump there and then a little bit of that horizontal. But the horizontal with the reflection in the water is really good. So I'm going to move that dead tree off to the left. And it looked good, but then the tree caught my eye, so I centered that. And the reason why one side's white or silver and the other side's black is because the silver side reflects the sun a little bit because it gets hot under there. Okay, I'm liking that composition. I'm going to try that. And the metering and everything should be exactly the same. So, and what this is I'm going to like one more than the other, and that's going to be the winner. Got a bug on my camera. And here we go. That's it. So I exposed 8 sheets of Ilford FP4 Plus today, and that was a good day. But I learned a few things, as I always do. I switched to my 25-year-old low pro rover AW, and it carried the 4x5, but it wasn't great. So I definitely need to get some kind of a better bag. The big backpack works. That's a Kelty Red Wing, I think, 50 liter backpack, but the backpack itself is a little heavy, and this is quite the trail I'm walking on and talking on here. And the bags that go inside of it are heavy. Those Tenba bags. Maybe if I got another one of the smaller Tenba bags, it would work. So that's a possibility. So other than that, everything's working good. Not crazy about the Sekonic spot meter. That's a lot of money and a lot of weight for what it is. And it's the clunky interface. Like really poor programming on that. Almost like the Sony guys built it. So yeah, I'm not crazy about the Sekonic. I think I'll try that Ravini Labs little tiny spot meter. That might be cool. And so, there it is. Great day though, great hike, great photography. Really enjoyed shooting the 4x5. Yeah, thanks for coming along at the Hoffer Lake Trail in the Elkhorn Mountains. And it was great. Got the 4x5 out, shot some Ilford, FP4 Plus. And it looked great on the back of the ground glass. A lot of fun. All right, have a great one. Thanks for coming along. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.